بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome all of you wherever you are. I welcome you again with the first part of Fatwa Live that comes to you on Tuesday, the 24th day of Ramadan. The first question. A young man, an Arabic young man, he volunteered to the war in Ukraine. So he will get the nationality, yes, citizenship. And he was killed there. And his family is asking that we pray the absentee prayers on him. What is the rule? He's right now in the freezer. And they're trying to get him back to his country. Praises to Allah. No soul will know what's going to gain tomorrow and where he's going to die. Allah knows, and He's an expert. And parenthesis, to fight in the non-Muslim war is a big gamble in religion. The Muslim should not gamble in it. You don't volunteer unless you are forced into it. Whatever the situation, anyway, as far as the principle, there's no problem to pray the absentee on someone who died and nobody prayed on him, or he was prayed on and he has a big status in Islam, like the big scholars and the fighters and the sick and the good doers. And it was authenticated in the two books of Bukhari and Muslim that the Prophet ﷺ, he took his companions when the Najashi died, and he lined them up and he prayed the absentee prayer. And this person, as long as his family waiting for his body to come in, so why they don't wait on the prayers until the body is there? They could pray on him. Is not an absentee unless he's buried. And to die in the war in Ukraine, they consider him that he's a Muslim and his accountability to Allah for participating in this war. But it's not going to be you don't celebrate and you do the prayers on it. So I think it is you pray whenever the body comes in, and he has provided. So if the body did not come in and no one prayed on him because there is no Muslims in the place of the funeral, then you pray at that time the absentee prayers. And Abu Dawood in his Sunan, he said the chapter of praying on the Muslim when he is in a different country. And Allah knows the best. Second thing, am I forced to give the zakat al-fitr on my kids if their father refused because of he is very miser? Well, the expenditure is attached to the father until the kids independent on themselves. The father is required to pay on them until and all the scholars that we know that on the person he have the expenditure on his kids, the ones that has no money. And because the son is part of your father, and so he need to, just like he spent on himself, he spent on his kids because they're part of him. And this is the book of Allah and the Sunnah and the Ijma' of the scholars. In the book, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, if they breastfed for you, then give them their money and obligated the child support alimony on the father. And Allah said also to the newborn, their sustenance, their clothes, and goodness is on the father. And in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ told Hind, daughter of Utbah, take what you need for yourself and your kids from her mother husband. And the servant of Abdullah ibn Amr that I stay this month in the mosque in Jerusalem. He said, you left your family and there's nothing to sustain them for the month. He said no. So he told him to go back and leave them what support them. I heard the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, it is enough for the person as a sin to waste those that he is in charge of. And it was narrated very weakly that Ramadan is in between heavens and earth, will not be taken up until you pay Zakat al-Fitr as people. But those who are arrogant on not spend on the person they are responsible for, their accountability on Allah, and with Allah the disputers will meet. And the rights of the servants will not be free except with you do that job or you're free from it. And their judgment, Allah will say, my right and no one will pass me the aggression of an aggressor. The second one, a man died and he left a wife and she's working, and one son and two daughters. They have a house in the name of both two bank accounts. The answer, the share of the husband is the one that is disputed between the inheritance. Because Allah said if you have son, then you get 1/8 of what you have left. For the male, you get the 2 shares of the female. And you go to the experts to decide what is the wife's share from this partnership and the inheritance. Someone said, I heard Ibn Abbas saying the word سخرية القدر is disbelief. Do you pray behind him? The answer, not every person who done something wrong, like no until the evidence is there. So it needs to be delivered that this is wrong and this is the rule of it. A lot of people are not aware of it. From the prayers, as far as the prayer, whomever's prayer is good for himself, then it is good for others. But for the preference and what is better, we take the righteous people to fulfill our goal. Someone said, if I give a monthly payment for the to help people, do I take it from the money zakah? Well, the first thing, it has to be the intention. Whenever you are given that, it has to be known that this is the zakah. You cannot make the intention reversed. Like you did something in the past and say, oh, my intention is to pay it for zakah. No, you have to have that intention when you're taking out of your bucket and giving it. Uh, I traveled from one city to after Asr, and by the time I get to the other place, it was Isha. I entered the masjid, they were praying Isha. I entered the prayers, and I prayed 4 rak'ahs. After that, I stood and prayed 3 by myself for Maghrib. Then I saw some other group that doing another Isha, and I did so I could have the order of the prayers. There's nothing wrong with what you did. You have taken safeguard yourself, but you could have entered as the Maghrib after the Imam. When he stand up on the fourth one, you have the intention of leaving and you make salam. Then you follow them with the intention of the Another question about putting your fingers together. Alqama bin Amr al-Darmi said Abu Bakr somebody to the Prophet ﷺ. So a man, he puts his fingers together in the prayers. And the Prophet ﷺ untied them. To mix your fingers during the prayers is what the Prophet ﷺ has denounced. So in the putting the fingers into each other, doing it in the prayers is not like Ibn Umar said, for the one who prays while he's they kept waiting for it or to walk with it. The majority of the scholars, they said it is not like to do it because waiting for the prayers or to go to the prayers, it's in the rules of the prayers. The hadith, you're still in the prayers as long as the prayer still holding him. If one of you made wudu and he perfected it and he went intended the masjid, he should not put his fingers together because he is in prayer. The third one, after the prayer, there's nothing wrong with that. And he, alayhi salatu wasalam, after he prayed, he put his hand on a small piece of wood. Yazid, he say, one on the other one, and he put his fingers, and he got up when he was angry. So people rushed and they kept saying, the prayer is shortened. And Abu Bakr was there and Umar did not speak. And there's a guy, he has long arms. He said, did the prayer get short or did you forget? To put your fingers across each other, there's nothing wrong with that after the prayers, but in the prayers, don't do that. To so outside the masjid and outside the prayers, not a problem, inshallah. Subhanallah. What is the rule? The imam saying uh, after hear the iqamah, he say haqq, being true, even though it is true, but there is no foundation for it. And should not be done. They need to say what the muaddin says. He said La ilaha illallah, he said La ilaha illallah. If you the muaddin say, you say it like him. And don't like take, because following the adhan, it is something you worship Allah Azza wa Jal, and you should not and should not be saying, otherwise it will be said in everything. All the words of adhan is true. So, are we gonna keep saying haq haq every time, every sentence? No. This is something was not narrated by the Prophet ﷺ. It's just innovated. Can the second question? Can we stay in countries that had no belief? I mean, the people that don't work in the rule of Allah. Well, where is that country that is holding or playing with the rule of Allah? None. But the Muslim can stay where he's more beloved to Allah and most beneficial to his religion. So wherever you stay is good. But if you are prevented your religion, or you are weakened to some of its virtues, then you have to migrate from this place to another. Why? When you are prevented from showing your religion or practicing it, like a woman, Allah said those that the angels taken them, the transgressing of themselves. What's wrong? They said we were poor. He said, wasn't Allah's land big? And by the way, for Amja, the decision about the rules, I hope that you go back to our amjaonline.org, AMJA online.org. But after that question, the other question, can you delay paying the Zakat al after the standard days that gone. So if there's a situation you don't have enough money, so delay a little bit is not a problem, but beyond that, no. So you should not delay the obligatory than its time, because you have no idea when the death will come to you. The the other question is asking, what is the proof that Islam is the right religion? We answered this so many times. Didn't Allah say, indeed, the religion with Allah is Islam? Didn't Allah say, and whomever wants beside Islam as a religion, it will not be accepted from him, and he's among the losers, the day of judgment? Didn't Allah say, if they have embraced what you have, then they. Then the Prophet ﷺ, no one will hear from me from Jewish or Christian and do not believe in me and follow the guidance Hakim, he will be among the people of the hellfire. And whom of this believe in it from the Al-Ahzab, don't follow him and Allah will punish them. I spend on my sisters or my sister the and the I consider that from zakat al-mal. Your charity on the needy is a charity, and on the kinship, it will be a kinship plus a charity. So if your family is among the people of zakat, they are deserving more of the money than others. So the charity on the relative is a charity and kinship. You pay the required zakah if they deserve the zakah. But the charity is for the poor and needy to the end of the ayah. And the poor and needy is the one who don't have enough food for him. Food, drinks, clothes, medicine. May Allah accepts it from you. With this, we come to the conclusion, inshallah. Subhanakallah bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. We'll meet you in a couple hours.